areas of time. Then you got to diet to go for competition. So a bodybuilder, by definition, is a competition bodybuilder. Otherwise, if you're doing it, you're kind of, your focus isn't right. You may be doing on and off steroids. A lot of things are gonna, so don't do any of that shit. Just make sure, naturals are good. But if you don't give out the effort and discipline, nothing happens. Because your mindset's not right, your focal point
in your head
offset, and that will psychologically fucking make no progress. So psychology has to do with a lot of your progress, but the discipline and full out, I'm going to do this every day for until I die mindset will get all kinds of things to happen.
Don't do that. You'll just stagnate
for a short period, but then you'll decline in health. So I do this to tear veins, not to just be a muscle guy, but also so that the veins stay alive. As you can see, my calves are making improvement. Now you can actually see the shape of my calf. Everything's going on, including in front of the shin. I've always had those muscles in front of my shin, so a lot of bodybuilders struggle to get those. See, if I tighten them, they even get bigger. I mean, this shit's fucking crazy. I don't know how many I did, but let's get another lighting effect here. Not as direct. I don't know, will that work? That's alright. Oof. I like it not too fucking bright, Alright, so let's keep this lighting a little different. Just gonna go ahead and complete a set of these because my body said even though you did triceps all over the fucking place, do some of these because it's slightly elevated. I guess if you do these, you can also use your calves a little. So might as well start doing that. Just using the ball of your feet to push up. Put this light back here a little. What the hell? I hate fucking lighting. It's just too direct. Hard to fucking do your workout. Yeah, actually, might be better. Oh yeah, you see my cuts now. Alright. No play. Not a dime a dozen. I'll be right back. Alright. So, yeah, I mean, oh, yeah, I like that lighting way fucking better. Sit back a little more. I'm gonna smoke a non-filter right now because I really need some tobacco. So, that's what I do. Like a city boy, I used to smoke Lucky Strike non-filter, Chuck Field non-filter, Pall Mall non-filter. First goes on, whatever is now filter, Camel. And that way you get a good hit. and you fucking really get your fucking money's worth when you fucking pure tobacco goes in. So, one more set of these. I waited a little time between them because I already been doing shit fucking loads of tries. So I ain't even tripping. As you know, I ain't even tripping. Complete 3 sets really quick, just to throw it in there, throw it in the mix, so to speak. Now we're just gonna do something. My mind is telling me to go do this. Straight, we're gonna do bar raises. Because last time I was hitting bulk work. Now we're just gonna do some bar raises. Lightweight. I haven't done bar raises in a while. Usually I do dumbbells, but bar raises have to throw into the mix. So, overhand. Now switch to wide grip, straight grip. Take a second. I'm going to do these. A convenient weight right here to do that with. And whenever you're doing exercises that are hitting shoulders in different kinds of ways, you want to make sure you don't leave shit out just because you're seated. So I'm throwing those in the mix. And those always fuck with your brachialis. I don't know why, but I guess because you're doing this, it's more of a forearm feel, obviously. And you get the top part of this, brachialis fucking starting to move. So, okay, here we go again. Now switch wide grip, straight. Set them down. Yeah, I had to start hitting some upper body shit because even though I have to dive back into back extensions, I want to make sure I start hitting upper body while I've got all the shit liquid nutrients in me and shit and food. The food that I ate wasn't that much so, but it was enough to add to the time release of food distribution and nutrients. So it's also a good thing to have a little bit of a meal before you eat. And if you fart, just clip it out, I think I did that a few times. So I'm going to have to clip out a couple farts because, I do fucking work out with a little food in my belly. No sweat. I ain't going to hold that against me. All right. And it's nice and cool to do this workout. So I like these night workouts right around this time of year. So I might as well hit them. Sometimes I get bleached out by hitting stuff in the sun all the time. I feel bleached out from all that shit. So nighttime's a cool time. And if anything like shows up in the sky behind me besides the moon, let me know. Because this is a UFO territory here and other things. By the way, like loud explosions, sound like nukes underground and all kinds of fucking shit out here. This place ain't even a joke. These booms are going to get popularity if they keep going on. I expect to hear some pretty soon. Usually come around evening time. So, okay, go back to these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Like I said, I like to hit my front delts when I start shoulders. Anything having to do with shoulders, usually I'm going to hit some kind of front delt shit. So that's what I'm doing. And I'll probably raise the weight after this. But I want to make sure I complete this shit. Okay. All right. Wide grip now. So when you get grounded and start doing these without alternating like I normally do, it's fucking great. Because now you're confusing your muscles into the position where your both arms are moving, and so that's a form of confusion. So I probably do bar raises less frequently. Is all I'm saying. So that I can use them as confusion mechanisms for dumbbell work. That way the shape is going to constantly grow. And the bars, they do a little bulking. So just remember, it's not exactly a cut work, but it's, well, it technically is. But, I mean, I actually feel like I get a little bit of size from this kind of shit rather than as much cuts, because most of my cuts come from dumbbell work. That's all, dumbbell work. Not that I'm dumb, but yeah. And you'll see a lot of people that do that look pretty ripped and buff. They do a lot of dumbbell work too. So, all right, these again. That's good. 24 is good for those on each arm. That's really good. You don't really have to increase the weight, but I don't plan on doing that because I'm trying to go into, extra sets for these. And always remember, you gotta think of yourself as having basketball-sized shoulders. Pretty much, you just constantly think that there's just nothing but fibers. Like a basketball-sized golf ball. I mean, it's gonna have all those fibers in the internal part, all those rubber bands, in certain angles. You want to make sure you think like that. Like when your shoulders are getting torn, you want them to just be these massive things full of fucking ripped fucking muscle. So you always think way bigger than it's even possible. And that way your shit will also grow. I always have to reiterate that. Your shit will grow because of psychology. So add it to your workout. Okay, now we're going to add some weight. Not a lot, just 5 pounds total on 2.5 on each side. Hardly anything, but you're adding weight. That's what matters. And whenever you do front delt like this and you catch your muscles off guard after they've kind of relaxed, the next day they look so much fucking better just from hitting front delts. All right. And I think my chest is looking supremo. Like I could tighten it, but I'm not. So it just looks well shaped. And that's exactly what I'm shooting for. Everything has to be shaped. It's not just about the fucking growth of size. Otherwise, you're behind in cuts. If you get size with no cut, less cut work, and you think that's the road to follow, for me, it ain't for damn straight sure. All right. I'm going to stop at 16 because I got more weight on here. Starting to fatigue. Oh, shit. Oh my gosh. Okay. I got to rest a little longer between my set here to get these wide ones now. I want to hit 16. I could have gone to 20, but just too much pressure. I've been doing stuff off camera and shit, and as usual, I'm almost fatigued as I start. So technically, I did take my pre-workout and all my other supplements after I did some things today, but they were minor. But yeah, I got my blood moving all over the place. Calf work, various other things. As you can see, during the night, my cuts look sharp as fuck because the lighting's perfect, and who wouldn't want to look like this? Who would rather look like Buddha? No, fuck yeah. You want to come this direction. Especially, the female, especially, because I'll train them too. But I like females, so let's call that what it is. All right. There we go. I feel like I'm bombing shit now. Where I should. Yeah, I mean, if you were to go to Big Boy's channel, they're doing more bulk work for shoulders, not near as much cut work, in my opinion. So I would never follow that MO, even though wherever they think it's good for them, that's cray. Because I don't do that, so it's kind of cray to me. But like to other people, it'd be like, yeah, but he's big, he's huge. It's like, yeah, okay, then go that direction. No one's pulling your leg here. I'm just telling you how to get in shape my way. And I ain't Frank Sinatra, so, better looking, but better looking, And when I got my hair, like, grow a little hair, even better. I mean, you don't have to look at the shape of my head all the time. I mean, I can grow hair and look just as way more, debonair. Vogue. GQ. I can do it all. I could be a model. I could do all that shit. I'm way better than, in my opinion, I have more going on than James Dean, obviously. He didn't even have a body. Or Eminem, who all the girls like, but a motherfucker looks like a skinny pussy. And there you go. I mean, you can love a rapper for his talent, but let's just call that what it is. The motherfucker ain't going to ever get in good shape. Yeah, I was smoking a non-filter. Now I'm smoking a filter. All right. Now we'll go back to these. I'm just going to do 10 each and then switch again. Rotate them a little better. Whew. Okay, good. We're done with these. All right, I got them done. My shit looks pretty tight. You know, my shape is so symmetrical that there's no complaints on my end. Some people will base symmetry off how big can you get your shoulders. And I don't, because I'm not a steroids user. But you get them as wide as you can through shape. And then, you know, you don't have to really worry about not looking the part. So you come to me for that shit. To get the quality training, you know, leave a comment. And I do take students. Wouldn't say I take your money because you're going to get good benefits from what I teach. That's for sure. You're going to get everything you deserve. When I fucking train somebody, I don't play. You might as well be in a form of boot camp, straight up. Now I'm going to go over here and do some really wide curls. Okay, just do 20 of them to start. The thing I don't like about doing them like this is these weights will touch your wrists a little, your inner forearm, more or less, right about there. Kind of bothers me. I mean, I could fix it right now by taking off these sand weights and just using metal weights, but it doesn't really matter. I'll still do them. It's not gonna like give me a rope burn like some faggots get, but we won't talk about where. All right. Okay. All right, let's move closer to the camera. You can see them fucking cuts ain't fucking playing, bro. That shit's fucking symmetry up the asshole right there. All right. These are essential too to keep shape in your biceps. So wide grip curls, very essential. All right, there we go. Got some more out of that one. Always make sure you try to hit those extra reps. I'm gonna take a little breather here. I feel good. I love my shadow play when I do the shit at night. I got the lighting just right. You can see the shit ain't fucking playing. And that includes my fucking calves, which my calves are growing like a motherfucker. You know, as you wouldn't notice, I noticed. They were walk thin from a lot of walking. But to get real calves, you actually have to do calf exercises. So even shit like this, just sitting here like this and tightening and making a contraction, pushing down a little with your elbows, That shit's good for him too. Well, fuck, I do this when I'm just at somebody's house. I'll do this shit. Or I'll do this shit. So I just started paying attention to my calves, and they're making improvements in shape really quick. So, of course, I'm going to fucking do as much as I can to them. And pretty soon, I got to cut this because the footage is getting a little long here. So, I'm going to go ahead and do these curls, finish them. Six, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. And the thing I like about doing these kind of curls is you can feel where it's different, where it's hitting shit in the inside of your biceps. It's hitting that inside part, which if I did more wide grip curls, I'd start getting really good shape to my arms a lot more. But, you know, time is of the essence for other muscle parts. So got to make sure the shoulders are staying on tap to be concerned about too much bicep. That's how that works. Although I pick very unusual times when I'm off camera to hit biceps a lot. So, but I try to push in as much as I can. For footage reasons, I can't go over certain time limits. All right. Now we're going to dumbbells. Okay. See, those cuts ain't those cuts ain't playing, bro. See what I'm saying? Look at that shit. All right, I'm just gonna do some regular curls, lightweight. These are 8 pounds. Okay, call it right there for now. You know, I hate to get pumped in the shoulders and not start to hit some biceps, obviously. When you're me, that's obvious anyway. I want to make sure everything is getting like mildly targeted, if not fully targeted. The shoulders, I want to make sure they get moderately targeted. If I'm doing mildly targeted, I have to do moderately targeted on my shoulders. When I go moderately to higher on my biceps, I like to hit shoulders at a different time of the day and then hit them about the same, moderately to high. But sometimes I don't, and it just kind of depends on what things I've been doing during the day. It's hard to explain all together, but I feel really good though. And I feel like my YouTube channel is going to go places. People start recognizing I'm 61. So, and then, you know, all bets are off on me being just a little channel. That's my hope. So please subscribe and like. I appreciate your attention. What do you smell, Bella? My dog smells a bear, I think. A bear is hanging out, waiting until there's somebody drops some groceries off. Like Yogi the bear. That happens here. My presence here and my dog keep that shit from going down so a lot. So that's why I come out here. It helps keep the bears away. But right now I'm just gonna switch off, and I'm gonna do these upright rows, close grip. I want to keep focused on those shoulders. I don't want to just lose complete fucking concentration on them. Okay, we'll just stop at 16. Yeah. You know, the more you pay attention to the mild details, the better. When I say mild details, like stuff that normal people ain't looking at in the mirror, they're looking at chicks and shit, and they're not paying attention to everything that their body is doing. They will also cut their advancements, even in a bodybuilding arena, cut their advancements because their mindset isn't focused on the changes of the body while they're in the gym. So as a result of that, just because they got a lot of mirrors means nothing. If you're looking at chicks all the time and trying to get attention that way with your shape and just occasionally looking at yourself, the psychology itself will demote your advancements. Quiet, Bill. Back to curls. This time I'm going to switch, though, to one arm. Double it on one side. Quiet. What's over there? Quiet. What was that? It's not a bear, is it? Okay. Something was over there. Probably the kitty cat. It's okay if it's just a kitty cat. As long as it's just a kitty cat or a bobcat, we're good. The bobcat won't hurt us. There's something over there. Oh, it might be. Oh, okay. It's their shadow. Okay. Thought it was a bobcat. I don't know how many I did with this arm, so I'm just going to do 16 or whatever. I don't know how many I did, so we'll just forget about the count for now. Okay. Whew. So how many people you know are 61 and can pull this shit? I go in a strip club as a male. I wouldn't want to go in there just to show off to faggots, but yeah, I would go in there and there's a bunch of women in there. Hell yeah. Not exactly my thing, but I would do it. Probably for good money, too. I'm going back to light because I want to do some more of these. And then I'm going to switch to single arm again. I just wanted to go back to light for a split second. Okay, now I'll switch to one arm again. And no, I don't really do the I guess it's called the preacher curl where your elbows are, I guess that's what it's called. I forget what it's called, where your elbows are on something and you're doing that. I barely ever do those. I just do these. Okay. Yeah, I feel that shit, bro. All right. All right. Now we're going back to these. I'm not going to increase the weight because I've already been doing those with one arm and I did increase weight. So I'm just going to stay on the same weight with these. What are you doing, Bella? Okay. Good there. Whew. See? Say, like the Three Stooges. Mo would always say that to Curly or Larry. See? See? Yeah, see how that tricep is cupping my bicep on the right side there? You don't see a lot of bodybuilders with that kind of effect. And if you do, it's kind of a little bit odd. Usually they don't have the ability. There's so much meat in there, it doesn't even fucking have that same look. So just by paying attention, you can get that kind of thing that you don't even see a normal bodybuilder have really too often. I mean, look at that. I mean, talk about shape. Fuck. All right. Back to one arm. But we're going to start light again. So my muscles had a good time to rest, and I did get some sleep last night. So that's why I'm hitting biceps now, because I had time to recover. It may have took 3 days for a lot of the recovery to take place, which is slow to recover because I don't sleep as much REM wise. But it's okay because, you know, patience is everything. No, I wouldn't name my daughter Patience, but yeah, patience is everything. All right. I just saw my phone shake and we're on the street, so that could have been an earthquake. I don't know how that fucking happened. There's nothing to interrupt it like that. So that was weird. I didn't touch anything or nothing. It just shook. There's no wind. So that was weird. The whole fucking thing shook. And I didn't hear a boom. I think that's about the same amount. I think I just lost count again. It's okay. These days I do more talking, so let's call that what it is. See the shape in the fucking arms? Who do you know who can do that shit, bro? You know? Who do you know? All right. We're done for now. It's on HD, but let's get it up a little. Okay. Get this in right. Okay. That would help. All right. Okay, these things are bomb as fuck, so I like to do them like this as well. But sometimes I gotta fix things so it doesn't wobble all over the fucking place. So let's see if I can do that. All right. It's gonna wobble a little bit. Let's see if I can fix it. Shut up, Five. Okay, I think I just fixed it. No, don't worry about the kitty cat. All right. So I misspoke. This I was doing something similar to this anyway. So yes, it works chest, but it's not like full-fledged into it. But yeah, it does. It definitely works chest. And at this angle, it's one of my favorite angles because you know you can literally get the right. You can push it the way you want. It doesn't feel like it's impinging your flow to keep going. Off camera, I was doing shit like this, but on a quicker version of this and non-hydraulic. So I was trying to get a little more of a boxing kind of quick reaction effect, and now I'm getting just the opposite. Slow, kind of methodical, and yeah, I combine the different effects of pushing downward with different exercise things, including push-ups and alternating push-ups, incline alternating push-ups, picnic bench alternating push-ups. And you know, I've been known to do curls with rocks and you know whatever's around and I need to hit something, I'm gonna just go ahead and hit it while I'm there. No big deal. I can hit at least 4 or 5 sets on one exercise like that for fucking no issues. You know, during the day when you're just walking around, like it's always good to just start doing some push-ups or something. You don't want to necessarily be at work on camera doing shit like that, but like if you can go into the restroom or wherever is comfortable for you, where you're not in visual eye shot, and you're gonna get in trouble at work. Yeah, you do stuff like this. You just hit it. Try to do 20 more. Towards the end, you lean forward a little more to finish up and go a little faster. I'll just do 2 more. Hey, 5, stop. Don't start digging a hole over there and kicking dust up. So this is what's going to pop the shape more than anything in the shoulders. If you don't listen to me, then you're going to be just doing stuff that you're kind of recklessly just experimenting with and wasting time. Like if you're learning gambling, it would take you 3 years probably to get good if you're smart, and in the meantime losing a lot of money. So you don't really want to lose when you work out, so you need to pay attention. Whew. All right. Hopefully I get some lighting tonight to continue, or otherwise I'm just gonna have to work out without the camera, you know. Okay. Okay. So they fix this camera a little so you can at least, you know, see the individual. Maybe that would help, wouldn't it? A little bit. All right. And on these ones, when I'm standing, when I'm at this angle, I like to put my wrists on the outside. That way I get a little bit of a faster hydraulic movement and it changes it up the feel. And it's good. It's a good thing to have that extra leverage too. try to squeeze the tricep towards the end, towards the end of your rep sets. You pay a little more attention to that. You don't have to do it all the way through your rep sets because you want to make sure you get your rep sets down, but towards the end, squeeze a little more in the triceps. Let's do 10 more. Because you're going faster, so you squeeze harder. I don't know if I did 10, but we'll just do 4 more or something. Okay. All right, there we go. You know, you want to be built like the shoulders are there, the arms are there, and the forearms are there, and the abdomen is there. You want to make sure everything's poking. And I got my calves now working, and I've been building calves, and they're getting shaped more than they did before. And it's strange because literally I did a lot of walking. My calves should have been big from that. But no, you have to add this kind of stuff, and then they'll grow. Well, it's not a good angle, but and there's no sunlight, so. But yeah, I can't. I'm getting shape in there and cuts in my calf, and during the day you can see way better. But I feel like over about a year's time, concentrating on those calves, they're gonna blow out. They're gonna get big. They're gonna get big because I can feel it. I can just tell when certain muscle groups are happy to get bigger. Like, hey, I have no issues getting bigger. I'm your calf, bro. You need to pay attention to me too, and I do. All right. Now we'll try to do whatever. Even though they don't look big in this lighting, they're not really big right now. They're just getting a lot of good shape to them, just because I'm adding calf stuff to them. So that's basically all I'm saying. And like before, they were a little thinner and a little more like what do you call them, wheelchair legs, but they weren't that thin. You know, I always had relatively shapely legs, even when they're kind of thin. They look, you know, they look the part. I mean, if I wanted to, I could build quads and shit really quick. I ain't trying to though. You try to squeeze all the way through the exercise, but towards the end, you try to just squeeze harder and push faster. So that's about it on that. Yeah, you want to squeeze, not over squeeze, but you want to squeeze because you're using your tricep and other parts of your arm. Shoulders or rotator cuffs are moving. You might be building delts doing stuff like this. So you just got to pay attention to everything. You probably are building delts doing this shit. So because I do so many angles, it becomes a delta exercise by proxy is kind of how it works, you know. Whenever you have to push individually like this, your delts are getting hit more than they would be if they were evenly pushed, because now you're fucking moving the entire shoulder on one side, pushing it an angle, slight angle, because you gotta kind of lean a little bit into it. It does more to the shoulder than if it was just both arms at the same time. Trust me on that shit. This thing keeps moving a little bit down here. I need something sticky. Okay, 10 more or 12 more. Ah, 16 or something. I don't know, just more. Okay, we're good. All right. All right. Now I'm gonna take a break. Oh. So I'm just waking up, and I did some working out, triceps, biceps, leg lifts, and I'm just fucking off, a little bit here and there with shit. And it's all good. As they'd say on Judge Mathis, it's all good, Judge. I didn't do nothing. Shit. All right. Everything's popping pretty good. All right. Might as well just do a little video, have a cigarette, and talk a little. I got some compressed video, so it should have helped. All my compressed video stuff should have helped out a little. Let's change the direction of this thing. It's not quite as sunny. Oh, that shit's sunny as fuck. All right. Let's put it right here then. See how that works. Yeah. Okay. Okay. There we go. I'm in frame. What do you know? I'm in frame. So, I finally caught up on sleep. I think I got enough REM sleep last night to at least do whatever I needed to do to finish up any repairs. Now I'm about to take my niacin, and I might skip my supplements till a little later because I still got that shit in my system from yesterday. See, I remember these things so that I know I didn't piss it all out. It's still in my system, and it'll probably clean my bins out by about over past noon, and then I'll probably take supplements then. But you never know. I might take them now. I mean, it's not like it's gonna overflow my bins to take my supplements, but I always want to make sure that shit's clean. Because when you're taking supplements, you got to kind of pay attention to those things. You can't just assume the directions are the way to go. It's all about what your body needs. The cigarette tastes good, even though the cigarettes suck, because I need tobacco. All right. Bella, what is that? I just saw something. Is that a birdie? Bella. All right. Well, anyway, so just waking up. I really don't have much to say other than I want to catch myself early in the morning on film prior to my other video. So, okay, so this is like, I would say, of this particular footage, this is like day 3. I mean, I got a couple days of mixed up footage in here, and I'm gonna fuck with it like that. A couple days of mixed up footage is what I got. It's sunny as fuck right here, man. Shit, I'm gonna try to block some of that sun. It's just too sunny. Uh-oh, I didn't want to do that. That's my weed. All right, let's see if this helped. I don't know if it did. I do not know if it helped. Oh, that sun's bright. It didn't help. I think another. See if I can block this sun a little bit. Trying to block the sun, man. That's it. See if that worked. Does that shit work? If I come way down here, it will. Alright. It'll work pretty good. I just need some sunblock. But not that kind of sunblock. I never use sunblock. Alright. Yeah, that's much better. Not trying to look super tight on camera right now. I just got to get that sun out of my motherfucker eyes. Anyway, the cigarette tastes good. What did I do this week? I've been doing a lot of double day footage because it spreads my footage out in a way that consolidates it for a video. And then I also got so much I do off camera that I'm like, oh yeah, there's nothing wrong here. So, but I kind of almost need some sunlight, you know what I mean? So, let's see if this works. Yeah, it's a little better. A little bit of sunlight doesn't hurt. As long as it's not in my eyes. That was the problem. So I'm not really planning on doing anything crazy, but I definitely need to put some different things on footage. For instance, I said on my earlier video I do my back. And I've implemented some back exercises. But I really need to hit my back today, and so I'll probably end up doing some hanging back on the dip bars, some overhands hanging on the dip bars, some, you know, a bunch of different bar stuff today, just to make sure I cover my territory. And then I'm going to come up here later and have to hit my row machines. I got a couple different kinds of row machines, and I'm going to hit them for at least 4 sets or 5 each. And I may or may not superset them, but sometimes it's a good thing to superset them if you're waning on your back workout. Like, I'm not really worried about it, but I had to push into a lot of stuff that's visually proper in front, and then I can concentrate on some back stuff. You know, that's how I do shit. I don't want to fucking be slight on anything in my front look from the visual perspective before I start hitting my back. You know, everything has to be popping right before I go hit my back. But sometimes, and I ain't gonna lie, that wasn't the case. When it was early in my workout times, like 2 years ago, I was doing a lot of stuff, but I wasn't that concentrated on certain things. But now I am, because I'm focused way more on what I'm doing. And in some of my screenshots, I look kind of weak looking, and other ones I don't. It's just because my muscles tighten up. I'm lean, and they tighten up against the bone. And to keep the waters and fats in there, it's a little bit of a job. So you just have to keep eating. So whatever you can get food, just fucking eat it. You don't complain about what kind of food it is. And, oh, I can't eat chicken with bones in it because my dad worked at the mortuary and showed me some corpses. Just fucking drop all that bullshit PTSD shit and fucking eat, okay? Even if it's the first human ever tried by humans legally, go ahead and eat it. I mean, literally, if they had a cannibalism fucking cult, you know, you might want to go in there and try some human poppers or something, you know? Fucking cheese and meat. I'm just kidding. But, I mean, seriously, you got to fucking eat. So, like the other day, I just ate noodles and butter and salt. Fucking, oh my God, I can't even remember all the shit I was trying to keep up with. A peanut butter sandwich. What else? I had a bunch of shit, but it was so random all throughout the day. Like, it wasn't a meal all at once, except for the noodles was kind of a meal. But I would say I topped off at 2 3/4 meals yesterday. So that was not good, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt me. It's just going to fucking slow down progress a little bit if I can't push into some more food. At least today I'm going to try to. I haven't eaten yet, and I am taking my pre-workout left over from last night, which was kind of a bungled workout towards evening. But there was good reason behind it, because the night before I did not sleep. So I had to make sure I rested that day, and then was tired enough last night to sleep, which I did. So that was good. I think I pushed in some REM sleep too, because I felt good when I woke up. So, and I did wake up like from sleep, not just rolling around all night like I sometimes can be known to do. Bella, don't be fucking with my shit over there. I gotta get a new box. This isn't gonna work. Alright. So I got some vitamins. I spilled a bunch of my zinc, I think. So might as well take a couple that fell out because I don't want to fucking waste them. I feel really good though. As you can see, these little bumps here, that's part of my chest growing. You know, that's my chest growing in this top area now. So, and when I was younger, I couldn't get this shit to pull unless I did shitloads of close grip and all kinds of weird shit. It started to eventually happen, but it kind of wanged because I got into drugs back then at about age 23, more harder drugs. And so my workout routine got kind of flustered, but then I recovered it after about age 26. And, you know, it just kind of ebbed and flowed. And then I got older and I took morphine for years. So I'm recovering from all that. Meaning that my body is recovered, but it took a long time. After I quit, it took a long time to recover. And matter of fact, when I quit, I started getting fat and shit. I mean, so that's what happens. You quit something, and sometimes even worse effects start showing up. Now today I found just a little bit of creatine, which was great because I need that shit right now. And that was quick and efficient to get that creatine just in the nick of time, because I hate to go the whole night without fucking some creatine, you know? Now I'm gonna do my B12. Remember, I already worked out off camera, so I'm not really super pumped, but I had to do that shit to get my blood moving. Rich Piano would do that shit when he got home after a workout. I like to do that shit in the morning, and then as the day goes, I start working out more and more. I like it that way. So I got pre-workout and aminos in here. And if I was to do it all last night, I would have had to push into some cold ass. It was cold last night. I would have been out in the cold fucking working out, which is fine. I mean, I have to do that shit in winter, so. But I just didn't feel it. I didn't sleep the night before, so I said, nope, I'm cutting this workout short, get some sleep, and wake up in the morning fresh. And that's what I'm doing. Sometimes you just got to cut yourself off when you know you didn't get the sleep you need. Trying to get this shade a little better. That sun's bright as fuck. Oh yeah, it's a little better. But you can see my chest is not playing, even though sometimes it looks like it could be bigger. I mean, that's because you're used to seeing bodybuilders on fucking YouTube or in champions, or you know, you're looking at those people that are on Cal Meds. I'm not on Cal Meds, and I still can pull off some really killer shape. And I'm not even fucking worried about going to a doctor and this or that. I am the doctor. Yeah, I am the fucking doctor, you know? D3. I just decided to go ahead and take these. That way I can get it over with and have it at least in my system. L-theanine. The other day, I couldn't do any videos because my shit was out of memory, and I'm like, damn. Oh, it's because I gotta compress these long videos. I always forget. And then they'll let me do it. That was L-actine. I mean L-actine L-actine Christine. Let me see. L-actyl Christine. And that shit's good. I noticed some improvements in my workouts afterwards, looking at myself going, you know, I think that fucking shit might be helping my immune system, so I take that shit now religiously. It's a vegetable cap, but what it's got in it is antioxidants and stuff. So, you know, you got to keep your internals healthy. That's why I'm doing supplements. So all the internal stuff doesn't fucking flake on me. But it goes so many other distances, you know, for just all around health. But I'm always trying to remember, hey, that internal health needs to be good. As a matter of fact, I have to drink some yogurt like a motherfucker when I get paid this month just to get my probiotics to grow again. If they're falling down, you know, the flora needs to grow back. So if it's kind of like needs nutrients like plant food, you got to feed the flora in your stomach. So not yogurt, but kefir will work the best. Kefir works the best. It's got the proper mixture, and it'll stick in your stomach, and you know, you get a healthy gut from that shit. And those things mean everything to just building muscle. You'd be surprised. That shit actually helps build muscle. When your system's working at the top levels, regardless if, like me, I smoke, I do a lot of things you shouldn't do, but do you know anyone who drinks, smokes, and smokes weed all day long since he was a toddler and can pull this shit off? That's why I call myself a warlock. I'm not just a biological entity, I'm a fucking metaphysical one too. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what I believe. Ugh. Ugh. Wow. I'm almost fucking gagging because it's pre-workout I put in here. You can hold on. Ugh. 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 Okay. Yeah. Sometimes I do that. This shit's just, you know, it's early in the morning. My stomach ain't ready for all this. It's empty, and I'm drinking pre-workout and aminos that's really strong. That's in there. And yeah, I gagged one pill out, so at least I got one down. Oh, damn. Yeah, but you can see my chest is making all kinds of improvements. Whew, all you have to do is go back to when I was Sabertooth Clark 1, and you can see that I was pretty cut back then, but you know, you can see where improvements are being made. So if you go back to that channel and look at that, you don't have to subscribe to that one. That one's done, but you can at least go back and do a comparison. And if you do think, oh, you look better here, and this is early, let me know, and I'll fucking respond. I mean, I see myself every day. I know what's better and what's not. And it's all about lighting too. So, but I'll still comment, you know, or respond to a comment. If you think, oh, you were better in shape here, or you were better in shape, it'd be like highly doubtful. But, you know, I'll fucking look into it and say, okay, yeah, I do look pretty good there. Must have been pumped up right or something, you know? Oh, I gotta rest. This shit's really strong. I got so much pre-workout in here. Like 3 scoops I had, and I did like 1 scoop last night that was in here, and then there's probably a couple more in there. I just kept dumping it in there. So I got a little bit nauseous for a split second because the shit's powerful. I don't normally fucking drink that kind of powerful pre-workout, so my body kind of freaked out on it. That's fine though, because during the day it'll fucking work. I'll be buzzed on it, and since I'll be walking downhill, keeping my blood moving, it won't hurt my to have the pre-workout in me if I didn't fully hit a workout because I end up walking, and the walk will get the nutrients spread properly. I don't always have to just bust into a workout with pre-workout. I don't care. I just want it in there to go with my B12. So there's extra energy, which I have endless energy. So all it does is add to the energy levels I got, and it helps out that way. All right. All right, K2. I'm probably going to cut these vitamins short somewhere because I'm starting to forget what I fucking took now. I took an L-listine, not a potassium. Okay, potassium. L-carnitine, I think I didn't take that yet. Maybe I did. Yeah, I better not take any more. So I got, like I said, I still got shit in my system, so I'm not fucking panicking. I don't even know if I took my niacin, which is I hate forgetting that. Okay. Because then I end up taking a double dose of niacin. This is the kind of shit that'll get a bodybuilder into trouble when they're taking their shit. Look at even Rich Piano almost died from double dosing his whatever that shit diabetics take. He's not diabetic, but bodybuilders take insulin to balance out all their shit they're taking. See, you got to be a chemical fucking machine to handle all that. And your body isn't designed to fucking do all that. So even though for short term, somebody can look good for 30 years bodybuilding with all that shit in them, eventually it's gonna fuck with their health. So that's my belief system, and I don't fucking sway for nothing. That's why I don't do any of that shit, because it's stupid. I mean, look at Liver King. Liver King looked good when he was doing that stuff, but it's only after he decided to start doing it probably that he realized I need more YouTubers, I need more attention. He started doing it. But look what his face looks like. I mean, he's one of those guys who looks like a meth head attached to a bodybuilder's build. I mean, the dude's face looks like a fucking meth head. And yet somehow he's fucking, got this body to go with it. It just doesn't match. I mean, it's like a mismatched head on a fucking body. I mean, I would never even be friendly to a caveman that looked like him, because he just looks like he'd fucking ruin your day, He's like one of them stupid white people on Django, the movie, that just stands there and kind of mumbles. I mean, he looks like shit in his face. That's the bottom line. Liver King, you're not fucking good looking. You look like shit in your face. And yeah, you might have been able to pull off a build and throw in some fucking steroids to make it even look better. But then you got busted doing it because you're, just trying to chase the fame and stuff. And then you go after Joe Rogan or follow him around. I mean, you got some mental issues, bro. I already knew that guy was mentally dislodged. Like, he's going to fucking have an issue eventually, because you can just tell by the way he acts. I'm mental to a certain degree. I mean, I literally am disabled mentally, technically. But, a lot of the stuff that's wrong with me, I kind of correct it without medicine. So as a result, I think that's why I call myself my own doctor, because I correct shit so I don't have issues. Like when I was coming off drugs, I had some hallucinating issues. Those went away because it was drug related, and I focused. But and the same with and so all that shit went away. I've never had hallucinations, see things or hear things. However, I do have a multiple personality capability, because I believe that the dead are not really dead. They just kind of flow. They'll go into your brain and give you suggestions, and you can listen to them, and they will fucking help you with shit. So, and some of them are from the future, and those will help you even more. The ones that are from the future will fucking help you too. I mean, you fucking wouldn't believe it. So I'm metaphysical that way. I tap in. I let them tap in to my brain. I'm not possessed by any being. entity, but what I can do is use them as a catalyst. That's what warlocks do. We fucking reach out like a burr sticking to your pant leg, and we touch the gods. Once you do that, you're metaphysical. So that's what I also can teach. I don't like to talk about it much, as in like that's part of my workout program, but it actually is. So if you were to join with me, I'm going to teach you how to be a metaphysical being and not just, a slab of meat, a bio slab. Okay? So that's what's up. You know? I'm going to teach you how to be more than a biological being. So I don't say that much, but I might as well because I'll probably get somebody wanting to get trained now when I start talking the absolute truth, which is I do teach metaphysical being kind of fucking shit. I mean, I literally do. But that's one of my secrets. I don't like to let the cat out of the bag too much. But I figure, since I need more subscribers too, I'm just going to let a little more as time goes by. She did a free job on that tattoo. She was cool. One who did this tattoo. I made the tattoo art, and then she made the black print on there so she could do it. She did pretty good for her first. She only had like 20 tattoos done on her portfolio, so she did a pretty good job. Free too. Full black and red around the inside, and then the black for the exterior. It has to do with the Eye of Horus, but instead of an Eye of Horus, it's a UFO with lightning coming out that's curved to indicate electrogravitic physics. So, and the triangle is a symbol of something else. Won't get into that deep. I've had some UFOs up close and personal with me. So, all right. I just will say the black triangle is reminiscent of an incident in 1986, October of 1986. Maybe like the 23rd of October or some shit like that. Kind of forgot the dates over the years because it was pretty traumatic, but yeah. And a friend disappeared, and their whole family got moved out of their house, and stuff like that. So I've had some, and I've other incidents have happened to me. That's why I consider myself a warlock. I've been through the ringer in that way, more than just being like running around in a city somewhere and getting used to some fucking decadent types. And even though in the city, they for the most part they were actually more interesting and fun to be talked to, but that has nothing to, the dangers are still there. And that's the same with UFOs. If one shows up, you don't know if it's good or bad. So, like, unless you can immediately know, and a lot of times they use a mind block, neurological mind block. They point at the individual so that he can't get too freaked out by them if they are going to do something reckless. So, yeah, once in a while you get the good ones, once in a while you get the bad ones. It's kind of mixed in. The good ones aren't really supposed to come visit a lot, but just the sheer vast number of them make their visits regular. And then the other ones are tail off fucking fired employees, basically, from a long time ago, leftover terraformers. Now they have no fucking card to basically be a terraformer, so now they don't get the benefits because there's so many generations burned out of that fucking field, and they fucking failed on a contract, those particular aliens. So, and there's about 25 different kinds of them. They all were working for terraforming at one time. At least their lineage goes back to that. They're totally freaking different now because they manipulate things too, but their technology's been cut to a quarter of what it was, so they're not happy. But that was their fault. The contract failed and they got stuck out here. They don't get to go home. They don't get a free ride home when the contract fails. No free ride home. You get to hang out there then. All right. Okay. So exercises, the kind of way I do them is going to get you shape really quick. If you're a bodybuilder, you'll get quick shape and all the neat responsibilities of trying to keep it there. But to be a bodybuilder, you have to only get big for certain areas of time. Then you got to diet to go for competition. So a bodybuilder, by definition, is a competition bodybuilder. Otherwise, if you're doing it, your focus isn't right. You may be doing on and off steroids. A lot of things are gonna, so don't do any of that shit. Just make sure naturals are good, but if you don't give out the effort and discipline, nothing happens. Because your mindset's not right, your focal point in your head is offset, and that will psychologically fucking make no progress. So a lot of the progress, psychology has to do with a lot of your progress, but the discipline and full out, I'm going to do this every day for until I die mindset will get all kinds of things to happen. If you don't do that, you'll just stagnate for a short period, but then you'll decline in health. So I do this to tear veins, not to just be a muscle guy, but also so that the veins stay alive. So you focal point on that and trying to keep your vascular systems active instead of dying off, and then that way you can reverse aging. But if you don't believe me, that's okay. I don't really hold it against you if you don't believe me, but that's the truth. You can literally reverse aging, you can fix health problems, everything.
El mismo pago, ¿verdad?
All right. And you're going to get better shape listening to me as a natural than most of the guys out there. A lot of the guys are in great shape, but they do too much gymnast shit, and it throws off anyone interested in doing this stuff a little bit because now they're going, oh shit, I ain't trying to do all that. But to get them disciplined, to get them interested, show them you don't have to get that complicated, and they might give you respect out of that for that reason. But yeah, I do all the other stuff that's similar to gymnasts and stuff. I don't do a lot of it on camera because I believe in mammal muscles first and all that hanging shit second. Like that's second on my list. But I do a lot of hanging biceps and hanging pulls. So I guess it's here and over there. Sometimes I actually do more of those than I want to. For some reason, I just feel like, oh yeah, I feel like hitting my back for 3 days, but I don't put it on camera. Sometimes I do it out of anger and just hit my back for 3 days off camera, because sometimes you got to just push into those directions, even though they're not your favorite. Yeah. All right. Let's see if I can do one more set of these. At 40 would be fine. And that's good. I'm done with those. Now, I've been doing tries off camera a lot and all kinds of shit this morning, and that's just something I have to say every time, so you know that I'm keeping busy on mark. I ain't missing any beats. If I was in a marching band, you wouldn't want to do that, or you wouldn't want to do that, and I don't do that when I was in a marching band. But other than that, right now I'm a little late on hydration, but that's okay. It's probably a good time, actually, maybe not late. Sometimes I like to do that because it'll kind of keep that water out from your skin and stuff if you have any extra skin. That's the first place it'll try to go, because where the skin is, there's no muscles. So the water and the fats will try to go to the skin because it's just like hanging there a little bit. And it's like, oh, this place is a good place to like stow away. Not really fatty fat, but you know, we can stow away here. So I don't like that shit. So yeah, I try to keep that from happening a lot. Constantly battling that shit. If even though it's not that big of a deal, it visually can cause some distortion in my build if I got water in my skin. So I try not to do that. So I will dehydrate a couple times a week, maybe sometimes 4 times a week, just to make sure that shit don't try to drip in there and hang out, because that's not a, you can't be a stowaway in my body. Even if it's a good thing that you fluctuate in there or not, I don't want you there. So that's how I kind of look at it. All right, now we're going to go to something different. Okay. Where's the other one? I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. Am I missing any weight? That's fucked up, yo. So, there it is. Now I'm going to try to do something I used to do a lot, but I'm going to try it differently. I mean, I used to do these. I guess they're called preacher curls, where you have your arms on that thing or something. I don't know if those are preacher curls, but I'm just guessing they are. But you have your elbows planted somewhere. But I don't think I'm going to be able to plant my elbows the same way on this. So, and all that kind of stuff. So let's see what I can do though to do this. Okay. So I'm going to have to hold them one weight down at a time and do them like this, slightly tilted. It works as long as I have one arm only. And it's kind of diagonal to the chair. Whatever that was, we'll just hang with it. Oh, we gotta put my elbow there. Sorry. And I kind of like these because one arm is pushing into the chair. So it's kind of like a weird isometric. Just, I mean, there's pressure you're putting into the chair to keep it from coming, falling over. So that is kind of cool. I like these. I'm gonna start doing these. If it feels good, then you do them. All right. So I like these already. I'm fucking, sometimes you make friends with the new things you come up with, and this one was just because I wanted to see if I could study my elbow, basically. Like I used to do those a lot. So with the little pad for your arms, your elbows, that one's really a steep pad, but it holds your arm in place, and I like it. It feels good. I felt a good contraction from it. Contraction. Yeah, felt a good contraction from that. Let's do it again. Okay. Well, let me change this a little. There we go. Well, maybe not. The ankle could use a pillow just because I got some accidents and stuff on that elbow bone. But other than that, it's pretty good. And I got what I needed to in for that. Phew. See how my vein is completely circular from that? Usually that vein is a little crooked. So I pay attention to these things when I get a little bit of a pump starts to happen. I want to see, now the vein's getting a little more crooked. See, it'll eventually get a little more crooked there. In the meantime, it looks good the way it finished up there. Whew. All right, now we're just going to do some pull-ups from the side. Kind of a short movement. Not pull-ups, but I don't know what they call these. So these will also help to keep shape in your shoulders. This movement here, even though it's kind of like an arm movement, it will help keep shape in the top deltoid, the whole full deltoid actually. After you've done a number of different shoulder exercises that week, you always want to make sure you hit these. And sometimes while you're doing the shoulder workout, you hit these. But I also do it this way with single dumbbells. No need this week because I did other stuff. So I kind of change it. Depends on what I'm doing. But whew. Now I'm going to go back to curls, but we're just going to do a strange. This curls here is kind of strange. Yeah, it's a strange curl for sure. It's also balancing the elbows, but it's not fully out to each right and left. It's slightly lateral to my body, and you just kind of lean into the shoulder rest. I mean the armrests. The armrest, sorry.
Ya arreglé este y la otra también está arreglada. Está pidiendo pero tenemos un desastre ahí más.
So a little bit ago, a chick drove by that I like a lot, and I didn't even realize she's like 19 or 20. But I really like her, so I'm gonna fucking have to ask her out or call myself a schmuck. She kind of tried to get a better look at me too. She went around me, and then she went in front of me so she could look directly out her rear view at me. And she's hot. She's really hot. All right. Now we're just going to do some overhand curls. And overhand curls also kind of like just pull and tear a little bit at the whole exterior part of the shoulder arm. When you're doing overhand curls, they kind of tear right in there. While you're doing this, it's almost like a delt raise, but it's different altogether because you're doing the whole arm and forearm and, bicep. Not exactly the tricep, but you're hitting this. It's getting forced to get yanked and torn because you're just, I don't know. It's just me. I don't know if it's just me, but yeah, it feels like it does stuff to the full delt. It just isn't bragged about. It's like a small area of the delt, but it does do it. So, all right, back to those curls. Oh. So I just had some pre-workout and some aminos today. I haven't really hit my supplements. They're all in my system from, I think, this morning. I'm trying to remember. I think I did take them early this morning. Yes, I did. So they're in my system still. I'm glad I didn't flush a lot of them, because sometimes if you hydrate too much when you're taking the supplements, it flushes it out quick. So I was kind of drated, so it was a good thing to be hydrated, and then I started to just drink some water a little bit ago, and now all that shit's getting moving in my bloodstream as I'm working out. It's just now pushing into all the bins probably a little more efficiently now that I'm hydrating better. So, and getting my blood moving. But, you know, I could be a little wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what's going on. Because whenever you get a little bit of upset stomach, sometimes when you're dehydrated, you'll get a little bit of an upset stomach, or at least I do. And it's an indicator, yeah, it's probably a good time to start hydrating now, because all that supplement shit you took is getting stuck in places in there because there's not enough, hydration. So you just drink something and it fixes it. Now my stomach shouldn't be upset really shortly. It's already going away because I'm drinking water. It's almost gone. So, and water will always make you lose weight too. So don't go ahead and think that you have to just bust into diuretics. Water is the best diuretic, and it's natural. Holmes. And as you can see, my ribs are sick. They're so fucking in there. I mean, look at that. How many people do you know with cuts like that in their ribs? Their fucking shit just goes flanges down there like a fucking sharp instrument. That'd be me. Okay. Of course, I have to tighten up a little, get all that to go on. But I mean, you can see I'm not missing a beat on anything. This shit is always going to be there until I get rid of it. But you can see my muscles through this shit. Pretty much almost translucent, the skin here. That's all I got. For being 253, that's all I got. That's fucking like really good, actually. I'm fucking happy about it. I mean, you don't have people that range past 50 with elastic skin. So mine was so elastic, it almost went back to normal. I just left a little bit here. So I guess the bigger you get, technically, a lot of that skin might even deflate from that, because now you're getting bigger, and the skin's going to go somewhere else now. It's going to fill in. So I will always not worry about my upper abdomen, because it's part of my obliques and ribs, a little bit more of my ribs, and that shit looks cool. That makes you look like you got a fucking shield of muscles if you got a chest to go with. So I'm not afraid to get upper abdomen. It's just I got to be a little cautious about down here, and I don't want to build too much muscle down there. So I love hitting this shit though. I don't care if it bows out like that, as long as I got chest to bow out too with it. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. That's a pretty good way to look at it too, if you think about it. All right, I think we need to do some more shit here, because I'm getting burnt out. I have been doing shit all day. I mean, I was down at the fucking town doing shit in front of it. Everybody's driving by like I'm, a zoo opposite, something in the zoo, looking at that dude that works out. Yeah, that's me. Oh yeah, that's me, and by myself too. Nobody need be here. I have discipline. I'm fucking on. I'm not on tap. I am tap. That's the way to call it. I already know I am the product. I look at it like that. I don't look at it like there's any kind of negative shit. Of course, people will try to draw shit out of you, like, oh, look, you faltered here, or you fucked up there. You don't look great there. Of course, eventually you're going to get those types too. I haven't gotten many. I mean, most people give me pretty good kudos. And I do get kind of, cocky about the fucking effects I create. So I could see where a few out there are fucking hella jealous, or maybe they got a great build from steroids, but it's short-lived because they're going to have health issues and they know it. They know it. And so they get mad at me for being a natural, yo. You know, it's like, no, I'm a calisthenics guy. I do this shit all day. I don't just go into a gym for 2 hours. Of course, I can take longer breaks in between stuff too. But what I'll do is when I go back into a rep, let's say push-ups are like today, I did a bunch of these twisting push-ups. And I fucking, I did them faster every time I went back to them. And then I did at least another 10, 15, 20 reps. Boom, 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 boom. And just really fast towards the end. That way you make up for any time lost in between and you do the same tearing. But you also cause an moving isometric. It tightens the contraction at a higher duration so that it doesn't have time to really do anything but tear. And so, yeah, I'm different than a bodybuilder. Think about it like that. You don't see bodybuilders trying to speed up their exercise. That's the bottom line. I mean, they try to keep an even contraction the whole way through. It's pretty boring to look at. But me, I speed up shit. So, all right, now we're gonna do some of these curls, but we're also gonna add some Arnold presses to these. That way we start pushing blood into the shoulders, but in a seated position. And a lot of times I like to do it, doing declines or something, but these things have to be done too. So I never scoot on my shoulder presses. I just don't do as many on camera as people probably would like to see because I have to keep my arms good. I have to keep my calves now. I have to pay attention to a lot more because I'm trying to grow my calves. So like Rich Piana did. No different. That's why I liken myself to Rich, because when he was alive, I pay attention to all the details, even of a bodybuilder. It's just that their specs are different because they're on comments. But I still pay attention to their knowledge and shit. They don't get stupider on them, I don't think, but they definitely still have lots of knowledge. So, and when he started to hit his calves, I could see why, because it looks great to have good calves. Instead of just giant up here and have little calves. Of course, you want your calves to show up a little. Obviously. Let's try to do more of these this time. And then we'll go back to the overhand curls. Because I wanted to just jump into these again, because I need to really hit these again. Okay, we're going to break though before we just jump into shoulder, because I want to make sure I have what I need going on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Pero ya tengo teléfono y todo para recibir. Tengo para. Claro, ese lo apunta. Mira, te va a ir de viaje con una batería.
19, 20.